Hey, peace, everybody. Peace, y'all. Look, I just want to drop this little quick message. It's about loving yourself, okay? Now, loving yourself, it can be ugly. It can be painful. It can be draining. It can be hurtful. It can be beautiful. It can be happiness. It can be joy. But you know what? The reason why it can be those emotions, because you know why? We look at ourselves and think that we have flaws. You know what I'm saying? And we live with that throughout the years of our lives. And sometimes, it carries on from a child all the way to the adulthood, right? We all had things that we looked at and realized, like, you know what, I don't like this. And it was hard to even live with and look at yourself in the mirror and accept yourself, And I say this to myself, like, you know what, like, okay, some people know I do have locks, and they're maturing. But, and one person asked me, how do you get through that ugly stage of, of your locks? Because they were like installing locks, getting their locks done as well. So, their hair done as well. And they didn't like the stage they were in. So they, asked me, like, how do you go through that one ugly stage, the frizz part and blah, blah. And I told them, you know what? I don't have any flaws, so there's nothing ugly about me. You know what I'm saying? There's no ugly stage, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have any flaws. And the reason I said that, because I don't know who put this in our heads, like, oh, we all have flaws. No, we're all unique in our own little way. That's what I like to say. Remove the flaws from your head, because that's what we live with throughout our life. We're thinking like we have all these flaws, and like I said, it carries on to adulthood. And so she thought about it, and she was like, you know what? I love the way you put that. And I like the way I put it as well. And I kind of live with that. Like, you know what? There's nothing ugly about me, because you know what? The Most High made me just the way I'm supposed to be. And you should think that about yourself too. There's nothing ugly about you. There's unique stuff. And yes, there are things that we all need to work on about ourselves, but nothing about us is ugly. So try to remove that from your head, because like I said, that carries on, day by day, and we start to live with that week by week, month by month, and years by years, and years went by, and you're still living with the same thing that you thought was ugly, So like I said, loving yourself, it becomes easier over time once you remove that, from your head. Like, you know what? That little mole I had, below my chin, all those years I thought it was ugly. All those years, I was ashamed to go out with my friends because, I thought it stood out and they would stare at me. And so I missed my good times, I missed some good times that I could have had, and, we think over the years, like, man, all those years I threw away, because I thought I was, ugly that day, or I thought I wasn't looking fly during that time from 14 to age 19, you know what I'm saying? So we start to live with that. But try to remove that from your head, and it's not going to be removed in one day, you know what I'm saying? It may not be removed in weeks, but it will remove once you evolve and and come into yourself and realize, you know what, go within yourself and realize how dope you are, you know what I'm saying? So once you realize that, you will start growing like in happiness and accepting yourself more, you know what I'm saying? So yes, just remove that. How many of us is still dealing with trying to love ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be ashamed, because you might be helping someone, you know what I'm saying, that's going through the same thing right now. So I mean, I know everybody's not going to say it, but there are plenty of us still dealing with that same issue, trying to love ourselves, trying to love certain things about ourselves, trying to accept ourselves, and that's why, people are walking around, miserable and, things like that, unhappy, because they're trying to love themselves, or they don't love themselves and they don't know how, but I want you to go within yourself and realize how dope and how beautiful, how sexy, and, how amazing you are. You know what I'm saying? Go within. And that's all. It's not going to